Welcome. You have reached review time with Emperiol, and today's review will be The Babysitter, Killer Queen. Now, when I first seen the headline for this movie that just came out on Netflix on September the 10th, 2020, I didn't even pay attention to it, and then I kept seeing it popping up on my feed, and then I said, all right, well, it's nothing else out to watch right now. Let me watch it. And then I watched it, and then during the course of the movie, and I'm gonna get to what the movie is, it kept doing flashbacks, and I was like, the flashbacks it was showing, I was like, well, they showing flashlights, we should know what was going on. But then the flashlights start becoming familiar to me, so I didn't even know that it's a movie I watched a couple years ago called The Babysitter. This is part two, and I didn't even put it together. Duh on my part. But that movie, the original, The Babysitter, was a a quirky comedy thriller type movie that was funny and not funny in a humorous way, well, not really hilarious, but it was a decent movie, and I watched it, and then I remembered, okay, this is the kid from that movie that grew up. So okay, basically in part one, a quick summary: a kid was um, a kid was being babysitted, and when in the course of being babysitted, all these people start popping up and trying to kill in the house, and then the people were getting killed funny, and there's just a whole thing going on with him. So it was a good movie, the first one. So this is part two. So since that time frame, he's grew up, and he has everybody never believed all the things he said happened. No one believed happened. So he's been looked at like he's crazy, and he's been detached from his like having friends in high school. So the main actor name is Judah Lewis, and he plays as Cole. And you have Emily Lynn plays as Melanie, Gina Ortega plays as Phoebe, Robbie Amell plays as Max, Andrew Batchelor plays as John, Leslie Bibb plays as Phyllis, Haha May Lee plays as Sonia, Bella Thorne plays as Allison. So a lot of these characters, they were in part one. A lot of them got killed. All of a sudden, they come back, and Chris Webb as Juan, Carl McDowell as Dr. Big Carl McCannis, and Carl McDowell, he's starting to get a lot of roles. He played in the show called Ballers with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Julio Cesar Chavez as Diego, Jennifer Foster as Boom Boom, Raymond Patterson as Mr. Norty. Was there anybody else I pretty much forgot? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And so, was a decent film, part one. Now, he's grown up, detached from friends. He has one friend that he's into, and his mother and father, they think he's getting worse, so they thinking about uh, sending him into a mental institution for further help before he get worse. So his friend that he's close to, female, she has a boyfriend, and she's like pushing him to, you know, branch out more. Don't be stuck with um, what everybody's saying. They don't believe you, and that you're not crazy. So they get a new uh, in their classroom. They get a new classmate named Phoebe, And right off the back, she pretty much got a nonchalant, I don't care about nothing attitude, and uh, she just jumps right in, and then people like, whoa, she's like a badass. So she comes in, and he's paying attention to her, and so they got this big party coming up, and Cody sees that his dad and mom is going to send him to the crazy home. He already sees the shrink slash nurse at the school, um, and they want to send him away. So his friend Melanie is pretty much like, no, you need to. I stole my dad's car. You need to come with us. It's red pill or blue pill time. Come with us and party, or go to the crazy house with your parents. So he makes a executive decision, and he bounces with his friend Melanie. He thinks it's just gonna be them two, but he instantly sees it's the whole gang of people he really don't fool with in school. So they get out to, before they leave, uh, somebody asked Phoebe, "Hey, you wanna come out to this party?" Diego did, and you wanna come out to this party, and she pretty much blew him off. So they all out at this party. It's like a pool, not a pool, yacht party, and all the kids and everybody's supposed to be there, but they end up branching off to on a yacht. And so in the yacht, they're playing like a truth or dare type game, and uh, Cody and Melanie gets placed into the closet, and pretty much she's kissing him, and he's like, she know he's really into her, and so uh, you at this moment you thinking, okay, she really into this guy. So they come out of the closet and they start talking. So then Diego starts saying, "Hey man, you're finally hanging out with us. Hey, what was the experience? You really crazy and stuff like that." And so he like, "I don't really want to talk about that." But and so Melanie start getting in the offensive, like, y'all need to be bringing that up to him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, even with the she said something about the Bible, and he never even told her about that part. So then he instantly said to her like, "Yo, Melanie, what are you talking about? Like, I never told you about that." And she's like, "Yeah, you did. You told me about it." And he like, "No, I didn't." So he knew something was off right there. So right off the bat, she killed one of their friends that was there. She killed one of their friends right off the bat. And then everybody's looking like, oh, what's going on? And then everybody then revealed themselves. So everybody then revealed themselves. And so the group from part one started all coming into the room. So if you've seen the trailers where everybody looking at they in the room, they're all part of this cult. And so they're all coming in, and he's looking like, "Oh snap, you Melanie, you part of this? Like, I thought you were like my friend or whatever." And she like, "Well, you couldn't think that I was that into you, did you?" And so Phoebe pops up out of nowhere on the boat, like, "Hey, anybody got some gas?" And then she sees somebody get killed or whatever. And so at this time, everybody looking at her, and Cody dips up through the roof. And now Phoebe, him and Phoebe, they leave on a jet ski, and all the group of people is sitting there like, "Yo, who's going after him? You go after him." And then Melanie is like the leader, and she sits. They get to shore, and so now at this moment, it's not, it's like a thriller, but a comedy thriller. They're making all types of jokes, and now it's Gary. The same thing that happened in the first Babysitter is happening now. Each one of the people that's chasing them make funny little humorous jokes, and then they all die crazy, get their head blown off, get their head chopped off, get run over by cars. So each one by one got some type of way that they get killed, and it's like a funny moment when they get killed or whatever. So it comes down to you find out that Phoebe is she's coming out to this area. She used to live there. Now, when they were at school, he seen Phoebe received a stuffed animal. Like Phoebe got some type of backstory, but you don't really know what's going on at first. Now, she said she killed her family, her parents, and the teddy bear that she had in her car when they got in a car accident when she was little. Um, that's the same teddy bear she received in her locker with keys, and it was keys to the it was keys to the cabin that she was headed to. So her and Cody end up heading to this cabin. It was a safe room underneath the cabin. So they pretty much waited there. Melanie had called, act like she was a concerned person, had Cody's dad come out, and she knew that would lure him out of the hiding place. So they was all hiding, and Cody and her and Phoebe came out with a crossbow. And of course Phoebe and Cody's, they got a connection, and they shoot, and the dad is like, oh man, my son really went crazy. So Phoebe and Cody, they running away, and then he tell her, get going, and I gotta help my dad. And so the dad comes and tranquilizes him with to put him to sleep and to take him home. So they at a gas station and on their way home, and he finally wakes up. The dad is getting gas, and he realizes he has to go and save Phoebe. So he's heading back to save Phoebe, and Phoebe at this time is chained up with Melanie, and she's bringing back all the people that just died. She's bringing them all back together. So he appears like, hey man, just take me, let her go. And out of nowhere, what comes is the babysitter from part one comes out of the water. Now she's supposed to be like she's the killer queen. She's the main person. So she comes out, and everybody looking up to her. And now he's looking like, I thought you were gone. Like, he was really cool with his babysitter. And then you come to find out that that was Phoebe's babysitter as well. And it shows her backstory that, Phoebe could have died, but the babysitter basically sacrificed and made a deal with the devil to save Phoebe's life. And so, and then she got connected with Kobe, and she got attached to him too. So she basically linked them together. So the ritual that they had to do was to drink the blood of virgins or whatever. And since Kobe assumed at the time was a virgin, they all drank the blood, and they all died pretty much. And they was sitting there thinking like, what's wrong? And they're like, no, he couldn't have got no women. And so pretty much him and Phoebe did the do when they was locked down in the cabin or whatever. But you only seen them kiss, but it never showed that they actually went all the way or whatever. So nevertheless, they did that, and that babysitter she was still alive, and then she basically broke it all down to them, everything. They were like, basically, how you knew that we would do it? She said, I didn't. I just put y'all together, and I knew y'all two was special, whatever. And then she was like, I gotta finish the ritual. So she had to drink the blood too. And her drinking the blood was the part of the sacrifice deal that she had to end it. And so other than that, it was a cool, okay movie to watch, especially if you've seen part one and now you see part two, then it's like, okay, it was something to watch. Nothing real special. The killings is pretty much hilarious. Not hilarious, that's too much or whatever, but decent, funny, and humorous. Humorous is a better word or whatever. Hilarious is too much. Humorous rather. But in my 4-star rating system, I'm going to give this movie a 2 out of 4 stars. Decent enough. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment if you've seen either one. Till next time.